Thank you very much, Chair. Commissioner, thank you very much for your speech and EU efforts so far, and I think we should align with those who also take efforts for stabilization, for future peace, and for proper dwelling in dignity. That's what we wish for everybody, and especially for the people in Sudan. Due to this largest humanitarian crisis in the world, and it has been the largest crisis since 2023, but I cannot avoid to make the remark that we might have been covered with some crisis regions which we ideologically driven focused more on for a very long time. But now we focus on the largest crisis we have on earth, especially on this very day, which is also the International Day for the elimination of violence against women. And rape as a weapon of war is widely used in Sudan, something that's absolutely unacceptable and that has to be addressed. As well as humanitarian aid, meaning also humanitarian access. This is something that will be a precondition for what the Commissioner has just pointed out as EU's help, EU's support. Humanitarian access is a precondition for that. And politically speaking, we again are confronted with an actor we already know pretty much, the Muslim Brotherhood. And so I think the European Union politically should support the efforts of the so-called Quad, meaning the US, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Egypt, to achieve a ceasefire and to support a peaceful and sustainable resolution of the matter. This would be the political approach the EU should take. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the SND Group, Ms. Marit Mai.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner. I think we all feel sympathy and solidarity with the people of Sudan, with the people of Al-Fashir that were sieged, where rape as a weapon of war took place, where starvation as a weapon of war took place. And unfortunately, this is not only in Al-Fashir, this is also in other places in Sudan. The RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, commit these atrocities, but also the SAF, they commit atrocities. And it's good that we have humanitarian assistance. And it's good that our Commissioner has also said that we need more access for humanitarian assistance. We need more funds for humanitarian assistance, because we need to support the people of Sudan and we need to support the organizations in Sudan. But only solidarity and empathy is not going to end this war and is not going to end the suffering of the people in Sudan. We know what fuels this war. We know the richness of the soil of Sudan fuels the war. We know the trade, the illicit trade in gold fuels the war. So we must also act. We must stop blood minerals from entering into the European Union. And we also must call a spade a spade. I think we must call the UAE and must make sure that they do not continue their support to RSF and to other actors. And we must ask the Commission to stop the trade negotiations with the UAE as long as this is going on. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Patriots, Ms. Aphrodite Latinopoulou.
Η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση έχει δώσει πάνω από 1 δισεκατομμύρια ευρώ από το 2012 έως σήμερα στο Σουδάν ως βοήθεια. Μόνο φέτος έδωσε 307 εκατομμύρια. Σε μια χώρα της Βόρειας Αφρικής που είναι κατά κύριο λόγο μουσουλμανική και με ελάχιστους χριστιανούς. Στις χώρες της Αφρικής δίνουμε πακτολούς χρημάτων για ανθρωπιστική βοήθεια που σε τεράστιο ποσοστό καταλήγουν στα λάθος χέρια εγκληματιών και πραξικοπηματιών. Η μόνη έγνοια της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης θα έπρεπε να είναι να σώσει αποκλειστικά το χριστιανικό στοιχείο στην Αφρική. Τίποτα άλλο. Και αυτό δεν το κάνει δυστυχώς. Μόνο στο Κονγκό φέτος έχουν δολοφονηθεί πάνω από 7.000 χριστιανοί και κανενός εδώ μέσα δεν υδρώνει το αυτί του. Το ίδιο γίνεται στην Ιγυρία, στο Μάλι, στον Νίγηρα και σε πολλές άλλες χώρες. Την τελευταία μόνο δεκαετία, δεκάδες χιλιάδες χριστιανοί δολοφονήθηκαν, χιλιάδες χριστιανικές εκκλησίες λαιλατήθηκαν και καταστράφηκαν και πάνω από 16 εκατομμύρια χριστιανών απομακρύνθηκαν βία από τα σπίτια τους και τις περιοχές τους. Καιρός λοιπόν να πάψουμε να πετάμε τα δισεκατομμύρια των Ευρωπαίων πολιτών στο βρόντο και να κάνουμε αποκλειστικά δύο πράγματα. Πρώτον, να βοηθήσουμε παντού αποκλειστικά το χριστιανικό στοιχείο που διώκεται ανηλαιώς και δεύτερον, να φτιάξουμε τείχη στην Ευρώπη απροσπέλαστα για όλους τους μουσουλμάνους που λαθρομεταναστεύουν. Όπως ακριβώς έχουν κάνει όλα τα μουσουλμανικά κράτη της Μέσης Ανατολής. Αλλά αυτοί ξέρουν τι κάνουν. Εμείς δεν ξέρουμε τι μας γίνεται. Και όλο αυτό γιατί μας έχει παρασύρει η Ισλαμοαριστερά που δυστυχώς εδώ μέσα έχει πάρει καλυμμένα ακόμα την πλειοψηφία και με το δίθεν ανθρωπισμό τους Ισλαμοποιούν την Ευρώπη και πετάνε τα λεφτά των Ευρωπαίων στον Κεάδα. Ούτε ευρώ στο Σουδάν.
On behalf of ECR, Ms. Asita Kanko.
Thank you very much, Chair, Madam Commissioner, dear colleagues. We are here today because Sudan is bleeding. And just 4 weeks ago, the Rapid Support Forces attacked a women's hospital, resulting in hundreds of deaths. They stormed this fragile healthcare facility, the last hope for so many women who had no access to anything else. We must think of them today, which is a day against violence against all women. The maternity clinic in El Fasher was the one who fell, the only partially functioning healthcare facility in the region. And at least 460 patients and their companions, including pregnant women, newborns and family members who had found shelter there, did not survive the attack. We have seen these kind of things before. In 2003, we promised never again. And yet today, we are repeating the same mistakes. Statements, sanctions that never bite, humanitarian crumbs while the killers receive weapons through the back door. Europe can no longer hide behind complexity, because silence is only complicity. I stand with the women of Darfur. We must stand with them. Women who are being raped as weapons of war. We must stand with the children who are starving. We must stand with every Sudanese fighting for dignity. We carry them, these women and these children, in our heart. But it's not enough. As Europe, we must now carry them in our actions. Thank you.
Speaker on behalf of Renew Europe, Ms. Hilde Boutmans.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, colleagues, and especially thank you, Commissioner, for your very strong words and for your very strong actions. As a Belgian member of this European Parliament, I'm very proud that we have you as a Commissioner on this post, so thank you very much. Sudan is living through one of the darkest chapters of this century. Millions have been displaced, communities are starved, and cities turned into killing fields. Colleagues, we cannot stay silent. Europe cannot stay silent. The world cannot stay silent. We have to call for an immediate cessation of all violence and the opening of humanitarian corridors. We have to call for a true fact-finding mission with this Parliament, maybe together with you, Commissioner. And on this International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, we must condemn with full force the use of rape and gender-based violence as a weapon of war. We must act. We must punish those criminals who do this, because a survivor cannot survive if those who do it are not sanctioned. For me, justice needs to be done. And third, the recent peace agreement is a small but important step forward. All parties inside and outside must work together. And in this regard, we demand an expansion of the arms embargo. And colleagues, just before I end, we really ask also a full investigation into foreign complicity, because you will hear it here in the House. Some will name countries, others not will name countries. Some will name the United Arab Emirates, others will have a veto on that. Honestly, let's do an investigation on this. Silence is not an option. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Greens, Ms. Nella Riel.
As I speak here, innocent people in Sudan continue to be executed, bombed, raped, or left to starve for over 2 years now. Yet today is the first time we are talking about this. We are talking about the extent of this crisis in this House. Let's say it how it is. The suffering of people in African countries has been normalized for far too long. The world has grown numb, as if starvation and violence are somehow part of the continent's identity. They are not. What's happening in Sudan is not a conflict between two equal sides. External actors, like the United Arab Emirates, are fueling the violence because a weakened Sudan is easier to exploit for resources. And the Sudanese people, they become collateral in someone else's power games. Today, that collateral means 14 million people displaced, hundreds of thousands of people trapped and starving, and women and girls raped as a weapon of war. The EU cannot be a bystander to this genocide warnings. Not again. The supposed ceasefire we just learned about is urgently needed, but lasting peace has to go hand in hand with accountability for war crimes and rule of law. We already see Trump rolling up his next peace plan on his delusional mission for a Nobel Peace Prize. But once again, he is ignoring Sudanese voices and instead striking deals with UAE. The very actors destabilizing the country. This has failed before and will fail again. Instead, let's push for a civilian-led peace process. Let's finally act like the EU's values mean something.
On behalf of the left, Ms. Ilaria Salis.
Grazie. Da oltre 2 anni e mezzo la popolazione del Sudan è travolta da una guerra atroce tra 2 forze militari, entrambe legittimate, finanziate e sostenute da potenze straniere, che perseguono interessi imperialisti o cercano partner per controllare la migrazione, come l'Unione Europea. Ma per capire davvero cosa sta accadendo bisogna fare un passo indietro. Tra il 2018 e il 2019 il Sudan è stato attraversato da un vento rivoluzionario potentissimo. Milioni di persone, giovani, donne, si sono mobilitate attraverso scioperi, manifestazioni di massa per i diritti e la giustizia sociale. Volevano farla finita con il regime di al-Bashir e sono riusciti a rovesciare una dittatura militare durata 30 anni e ad aprire una possibilità di transizione democratica. Ma mentre gli insorti furono lasciati soli dalla comunità internazionale, sia il SAF che l'RSF, le stesse 2 forze che oggi si scontrano, allora collaborarono per soffocare nel sangue le aspirazioni democratiche del popolo sudanese. E da lì si è sviluppato il conflitto devastante che oggi sta distruggendo il paese. Ecco, quando si tratta di schiacciare una rivoluzione, i nostri nemici si uniscono. Quando poi si tratta di spartirsi il potere, si fanno la guerra sulla pelle della popolazione. E noi che cosa abbiamo fatto? Che cosa facciamo per sostenere il popolo del Sudan?
Dear colleagues, dear members, this is an evacuation exercise, so please follow the instructions and exit the chamber orderly. The sitting is suspended and will resume after the exercise is concluded.